I've ever said this out loud before. Not really. I've thought about it for years and let it sit in the back of my head like something rotting. But saying it, that makes it real, doesn't it? And I don't know if I want it to be real. I was about 16 when it started. I used to walk home from my friend's house after school. About a 20-minute walk, nothing crazy. I'd take this old path that cut through a patch of woods, just a little dirt trail between some trees, barely wide enough for two people to walk side by side. It wasn't anything special, but it was quiet. The kind of quiet where you can hear your own footsteps crunching in the leaves and your breath pushing through the cold. One afternoon I was halfway down the path when I heard something. A voice, soft, distant, and it called my name. Henry. I stopped walking. The sound had come from behind me, but when I turned, there was nothing there. Just the trees standing still, as if they were holding their breath. It wasn't my friend messing with me, 'cause I had just left his house. I told myself I imagined it, that it was the wind playing tricks on me, so I kept walking. A few steps later, I heard it again, closer this time. Henry. It was strange, low, almost gentle, but wrong somehow. Like someone trying to sound familiar, but not quite getting it right. My stomach twisted up and I walked faster. By the time I got home, I had nearly convinced myself that I was imagining things. Nearly. But it kept happening. Every time I walked that path alone, I'd hear it. Some days it was barely a whisper, and others it was right behind me. Always saying my name. Just my name. And the worst part? It started to sound more and more like me. I told my parents once. My dad laughed it off and said I was letting my imagination get the best of me. My mom told me not to take that path anymore. She wouldn't say why, but I think she knew something. But I was 16, and 16-year-olds don't listen. I kept taking the shortcut, telling myself it wasn't real, but then one night I woke up to it. Not outside. Inside. Henry. Right outside my bedroom door. My stomach dropped, like, I don't know if you've ever felt true primal fear. The kind that turns your body to stone. But that's what happened. I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe, I just listened. Henry, open the door. No way in hell. I don't know how long I stayed there staring at that door, waiting for something to happen. But nothing did. After a while, I started to think maybe I just dreamt it. But that's when I heard the doorknob rattle. I almost screamed, but it didn't turn. It didn't open. And then, just as softly as before, let me in. I forced myself to sit up. I don't know where I found the courage, but I managed to move, to run to my parents' room. My dad nearly threw me out for waking them, but my mom, she didn't say anything, just pulled me in and locked the door behind me. I slept in their room that night. In the morning, I told them everything. My dad said it was just a nightmare, but my mom, she looked tired, like she already knew. That was the last time I heard it. We moved a few months later, and I never took that path again. Never walked those woods again. And for years I thought maybe it was just my imagination. Maybe I was just a stupid kid scaring myself. But then last week, I got a call from an old friend who still lives in town. He told me they found something in those woods. A body. Not just any body. My body. Buried in a shallow grave, clothes and all, bones half rotten. Still stuck in that. But I'm still here. Aren't I? Well, that was something. I've heard something like it before. A different case years back. Different town, different name, but the same story. A voice calling to them, leading them somewhere they shouldn't go. Then a body. Their own. You're saying this has happened before? I don't know what I'm saying, but this isn't the first time I've come across something like this. And if it's happened more than once, it can happen again. Yeah, well, if I ever hear my own voice calling me from the woods, I'm not sticking around to find out what that shit wants. Smart man. Did you hear that? Yeah, let's get out of here. We've been down here too long.